Don't focus on what's not going right, because the more you focus on that, you're gonna continue to get that. Are you satisfied for where you're at in your life? If you're not, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Want to know how to stay motivated even though you don't see any results in the beginning? Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so I'll know to make more videos like this one. These habits have helped me to go from being very frustrated all the time, being anxious, and not being able to have enough peace, and just not all fulfilled. Being frustrated all the time of not seeing results fast enough, and also just being impatient and not having very good relationships with people. But after applying this, I was able to just see it from a different perspective. I'm able to see results faster now than I ever thought could possible, because I just did a few little switches in my brain to be able to see the good. So whatever you focus on grows. So what is it that we want to grow at the end of the day, or what we're building something? So I went from being so frustrated all the time, being anxious, to now being honestly in a more peaceful mindset, and I'm actually seeing results faster than I could ever experience in my life. It's just been so phenomenal. So that's why I want to be able to share that with you today. These really true, easy habits that you can start creating today make a huge, massive difference in your life. Don't take these habits for granted, because honestly, the simplest things that you could do starting today does make a huge, massive impact in your entire life, in your entire world. When you apply these little by little every day, you make it a habit to do these every day, you will see a massive impact in your life, just like it did for me. And that's why I continue to do it, because it's a much better way to live. So the first one that I really enjoy let me put it this way. I thought this was really dumb in the beginning when I first heard it, but my mentor, Danny Johnson, who I always heavily edify, she has brought this into my light. And even though I didn't understand it, I thought it was baloney, I still applied it anyways, because I'm like, well, what I've been doing for years hasn't been really producing the results I've been wanting. So in order for you to produce the results that you want, you have to start doing something different, right? So the first thing that she says is really what people really know today is called small wins, but she refers it as sprouts. What is a sprout? You out there planting seeds, right? And you see little tiny small wins. Those are what we called our sprouts. A sprout is what something big is about to come. So every farmer knows this, every multimillionaire knows this, every billionaire knows this, is that when you focus on what's going good, on your tiny little sprouts, doesn't matter how tiny it is. It can be, I made a phone call today that I was really scared of doing, but I did it. That, right? And just little tiny wins. You know, like if you're running a YouTube channel, oh my gosh, I got a subscriber today. Thank you so much. I'm so incredibly grateful for that. You're probably looking at me like, you're crazy, woman. I know, that is exactly what I first thought when I heard this concept, but it's a real thing. It's a real deal. So sprouts are what is to come in your life if you focus on that. So kind of like what I said before, what you focus on grows. So what are you focused on today? Whatever you focus on grows, whether it's good or bad, it grows. So what do you want to grow? What is it? I got a client today. That is a huge win. I wouldn't call that a small win. That is huge. Sprouts. Look for sprouts in your life. You know, today I had a conversation that I was so scared of doing, but I did it. That is a sprout. You can add these sprouts in the goals that you have. Usually I set 3 goals every year for myself, so I'm not overwhelmed or I'm not spreading myself way too thin. I know that if I can accomplish these 3 goals in 1 year, I'm actually further than if I would have set, 10 goals for myself for a year. Ridiculous. So sprouts. If you want to build a business, right? What are the sprouts that you can look at today? What is it? If you can relate with this, comment below and let me know what those are, the tiny ones. Because when you focus on that, you're gonna get far more in the future. That's just how it works. I tested it and it continues to work for me and obviously other people. What are the small steps into getting there? See, we put ourselves in so much pressure. We do it by ourselves. We can't blame anybody. We literally do it by ourselves because apparently we want to have 100 clients by today. Once we do that, we are overwhelmed. We are pressured to do that. Therefore, we don't do it. So that's not a very good way to look at it. That's not even a sprout. So a sprout, what have you done today that you are really proud of, even if it's just so small? What is it? You know, I rested today. I feel liberated. That is a huge sprout. You know, just little things like that. Write it down. 3 in the morning and 3 at night. I write my sprouts in the morning and at night, but I'm not perfect. Yes, there are days that I forget, but I'm not going to focus on, I'm not going to tear myself down because I forgot to write the sprouts down. To write the sprouts down. But make it a habit to write your sprouts every morning and every night. And I'm telling you, you're going to see something so different in your life and you're starting to get those more in the future. If you don't believe it, test it out. Test it out, my friend. So that's what I usually do. And I literally get so much results. The smallest things in the world. What are the sprouts of your day? What are the sprouts of your morning? I woke up, I did meditation, I woke up, I wrote in my journal. That is a sprout. Oh my gosh, I got, I made phone calls today and I hate doing phone calls. I made those calls, that is a sprout. And when you start focusing on that, that's when you start creating momentum. That is momentum right there. When you're focusing on those sprouts, those small wins every day, now you're in momentum. You can't stop. If this is helpful for you, hit that like button and comment below letting me know that this is being helpful for you so that way I will know to make more videos like this. I've said all of that with the sprouts thing, which is a huge concept. The other thing I do want to touch up on, and I know you hear it every single day, but it is a great habit to build. When I also heard this, it was baloney. So I don't want your ego to get in the way. I always tell people, because I learned this from my mentor Danny, is that weigh your ego with your bank account and figure out which one weighs more. Weigh your ego with your goal and figure out which one weighs more. So we all heard this concept, and it is called gratitude. But hear me on this, please, because I was once stubborn when I've heard this. Gratitude. I went through a phase in my life where it was a full discovery. Actually, it was this year. I went through a discovery phase in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was open to any opportunity that came my way because I really didn't know what to do. And I never thought that I would get to that place ever. Because if you knew me in my life, I was always like, yeah, you go girl, you do so well. But deep down inside, you will get to a point where you're confused and you don't know what to do. So I went through a phase of self-discovery and I just started applying gratitude. Gratitude in my life is similar to the small wins, it's similar to sprouts. But when you can be grateful for the tiny little things in your life, you will start to receive more. And why do I say this? There's many people out there that don't have homes. There's many people out there that don't have clean water. And you're asking me, why do I even care about those people? I know, I get it. I was that person too. But in all honesty, we are so wealthy today that we have everything that we need in order for us to get to where we want to go. Thank you so much for the clean water that I have that nourishes my body. And I'm healthy. And I can use these hands to bring wealth. Thank you so much. Thank you for waking me up today. You don't have to believe in God, but I certainly do. God calls all the shots in the end, and he was the one that woke us up today. I'm just going to put that out there. You can take it as for what it is, but that is really, really true. I was a child. I was supposed to die, right? but I didn't. I'm so grateful for that. You know, so things like that. What can you be grateful for today? It can be the smallest things, man. So, because what you focus on grows. What you focus on grows. What do you want to focus on for it to grow, for whatever it is that you're building? It can be anything else. It can be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about business. It can be about relationships. It can be about your health. You know, health. Oh my gosh, you know, I got on the treadmill today. That sucks, but I did it. You know, I went for a walk today. That is a sprout. I lost 1 pound today. Woohoo! That's a sprout. That is a sprout. Every successful person knows this. Every successful person knows that if you scroll through YouTube, everywhere that you see, every successful, wealthy person today they will all tell you gratitude. So get it to your head today that gratitude truly is like, you may not understand it in the beginning, because that was me, but the more you practice it, you will start to see revelations in your life that you would have never thought of, but just the little things. God, thank you so much for my friends who are so incredibly supportive. And if you don't have friends that are supportive, are you supportive? So that's like a whole nother video that I could definitely do on when it comes to the law of reaping and sowing. Whatever you put out there comes back to you. So if you want different results, what you have to put out there, gratitude, small wins, sprouts. Now you're in momentum. Don't focus on what's not going right, because the more you focus on that, you're gonna continue to get that. Are you satisfied for where you're at in your life? If you're not, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on one that's going right. That's why you're not satisfied. I'm not saying being satisfied means that you're settling. That's not what I'm talking about at all, because I'm not the one to settle ever. But what you focus on grows. So what can you focus on today that will take you to where you want to go? Nathalie, I only have 20 clients in my company, and the other person has 100. You don't know what season they're in. You're in a different season that they are. They've been building this thing, but businesses shut down every day. You don't know where they're at in life. Yes, it may seem like it's glamorous and it's all perfect, but you don't know what will happen tomorrow. So that's why you got to be grateful for those 20 clients that you have, because if you don't, how are you prepared to receive more? How are you prepared to receive that? You're not. Just like God, He is a father of us. Whether you don't believe that, that's totally cool. I didn't understand that for the longest, but He is. So when we tell our parents of what we are grateful for, they are so apt to give you more. That is exactly how God is as well. He is apt to give you more when you say, God, thank you so much for these 20 clients that I have. Thank you. You've trusted me with a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. He is apt to give you another 5, another 10, another 20, another 1,000, another 10,000. But when we're like, oh, it's only 20, you're going to be stuck. That's when you're stuck, when you're like, but it's only that. Well, what you say is true. So what do you want to say today? What are you grateful for today? I'm so grateful for even having the ability to have a voice and share this information with you. I'm so grateful. I don't know who's going to watch it, but I really hope that it brings freedom and revelation and restoration in your life, because it has for mine, and that's what I'm here to do. So yes, sprouts creates momentum. Gratitude gives you far more than what you could have ever expected. If you're struggling to get out of this mental funk called frustration, I would love to help. Reach me at natalie.lazo@gmail.com and let me know how I can help you. And be sure to check out this video next on how your words become your world. And finally see and taste and feel the results that you have been wanting and have been looking for. The link is in the description below. See you there.